Assalamu alaikum. So, greetings from Tikana. So, I'm Dr. Atikul Haq Majumdar. Actually, today's session is on a very interesting topic. The topic is actually the Post-Hoc Manifest. So, Post-Hoc means which happens after something. So, which is added afterwards. So, through manifestation, actually people have very quite interest or curiosity about manifestation, how it works or does it actually works. And there is, I should say, there is $1 billion business on manifestation. So there are plenty of gurus and psychics and even teachers and even psychiatrists. I'm not sure about psychiatrists, but many psychologists and many this kind of many from diverse professionals people are engaged in teaching manifestation. I can recall that last year I also conducted a workshop on manifestation, and it was a very good workshop. And actually there I discussed the scientific aspects of visualization, how it works, and I also there are something spooky, I should admit, that which is beyond our comprehension. That is the energy, this aspect, because we know very little about our world, our reality, our existence, consciousness, etc. So I had some experience of that kind of energy healing from one of my friends from Estonia. She is a psychic, and so what I want to say that that is a different topic. We can also discuss it in another session, but today's session is on manifestation and actually how it works. Because some people might say, or even some teachers, manifestation teachers, they also say that okay, I have done this and this, I had difficulties, financial difficulties, and suddenly I changed my mindset. I changed my scarcity mindset into abundance mindset. So I should clarify these two terms. These are of course important. A scarcity mindset is that okay, if I always think that I have deficits and I need more, I am in scarcity, so that is a scarcity mindset. And abundance mindset is I have abundance. So there is a popular misconception on these two terms, because when we want to be rich, if someone want to be rich, if I want to manifest whatever I want, itself it is a scarcity mindset itself. So when the teachers tell you about okay, I will teach you manifestation and I have done it in my life, it happens in my life, this is his or her disbelief or illusion. Because what happens, someone, for example, if I am a teacher, a meditation guru or something on manifestation, and if I say that okay, earlier I thought that okay, I had always difficulties paying my bills, and then I shifted my mindset. I shifted, okay, life is abundance, everything is abundance, so I don't have to think that way. I will just rely on the nature, and I will make communication with nature, and whatever I want. For example, I know about a teacher. She was also from Estonia. I should not mention her name because she's also kind of my friend or acquaintance. I participated in one of her short course. It was a €100 course. Ultimately, so what I learned from her, that actually from her example, that okay, she had a dream to visit to Maldives or some other these kind of places, but she didn't have much money. But when she started to think like that, and something happened, and ultimately she could visit that place along with her family. And so this was an example of manifestation, she claimed or she believed. But here comes the difference of opinion, because I think it in another way. I believe that, of course, I could be wrong, my thought could be wrong. I believe that actually we can never manifest, because it is beyond our control. We cannot even change ourselves, that is an illusion. We want to improve ourselves, that is an illusion too, because nothing is in our control. And I shouldn't give, I am not telling that okay, our control is on some supernatural authority or something like this. No, not that way. It is simply indeterministic. That is, it is not all previously written, all previously fixed, not like this. It is because in quantum loop theory or quantum fluctuation, everything happens from vacuum. A flow is actually, yes, flow, but we are discussing how it happens. We know flow, whatever happening is flow, but what causes the flow, or how it is happening, that is the flow, sometimes in the right direction, sometimes in the left direction, or wrong, or whatever we can call it, or ups and downs. So how it happens, how natural patterns occur. So actually they occur randomly through fluctuation, but there is a twist that whatever random there is, always there is a pattern created afterwards. So at first, and scientists have also found that when there is randomness, and there is if it is multiplied numerously through supercomputer or something, or through simulation, there is a pattern emerges in that randomness. And this randomness, it happens because in quantum loop theory everything emerges, because we know about, some of us knows about the virtual particles. Actually virtual particles, they are always created in vacuum, in void, because there is nothing as void, there is nothing as that is nothingness. Because in a space, if there is if any point is vacuum, there is always virtual particles are emerging, and they are created and destroyed, and so on. And so science is very interesting and spooky, because we cannot explain everything through our existing knowledge, but it is unwise to create some kind of explanation beyond scientific, because it is good to admit that we do not know. Like Socrates said always that one thing I know, that I know nothing. So that is the great concept, or this is a great wisdom. But if I want to explain with something that is actually not that is cannot be proven, so that is unwise. That would be unwise. But humans are unwise. Our brains are unwise. Most people brains works in a very predatory way. So we are so much flawed that most people are just most brains cannot just overcome that limitations. So but it is human nature, it is our brain's limitation, so nobody to blame for it. And for manifestation, actually everything happens so naturally and through quantum fluctuation, through randomness. But when it happens, sometimes we can know it earlier. For example, if there is an earthquake, we know that some animals can predict it. They can feel some hints, some vibration, which cannot be even detected by human invented machines or seismographs, but they can understand it beforehand. Some animals can know it, ants, even ants, and so on. And so how it happens, because when something is happening, going to happen, so it is also a pattern. If there is a storm is coming, before a storm there are some signs that sometimes there should be clouds, or in a sunny weather, we cannot expect in a storm, but when a storm comes, there should be some signals beforehand, and the same happens in manifestation. For example, if I want to manifest something, say I want to, for example, there is a participant online. I shouldn't, I cannot mention a name here. So she is willing to get admitted into some universities abroad, and okay, that's fine. So actually that could be a manifestation, that is okay, I want to be there, I want to study abroad, that's nice, very good. And so if you were things that okay, I want to manifest, I want to meditate to manifest that, or I should practice, because there are many maneuver in online, there are many free guides or tips how to meditate, how to manifest. That is the, if you just breathe in and breathe out, and just in meditation or something like this, and simply just relax and just think. The popular method is like that, and you just imagine what reality you want. For example, if I for my personal view, I had sometimes ago, even now, okay, I will have an energy retreat in Switzerland, and so besides the Zurich Lake or something like this, and so in my imagination I will just feel that that place, and I will feel literally I am there, and I will just smell the scent around me. I will just feel the air breathing around me from that place, and I am walking, I can feel that that everything is there, and I am there, I am just absorbed and in that environment. So that is the popular method of manifestation, and it is also recommended that you should be knowing that it's happening. For example, if you have a if you have a car, or if you have some money in your bank, it is there, you know it, it is not with you, but you know that okay, I have that amount of money in my bank account, so that is obvious. So in manifestation it is also recommended that you have to believe, you have to know that okay, that is waiting for me, or that is mine, it belongs to me, I am just waiting to be there. So and there shouldn't be any doubt, because doubt means our brain knows that okay, I am just making it in a fantasy, I am just imagining it, but actually it is not true. So it works like that in popular beliefs, that okay, through manifestation we have to believe it, and we have to think about it. Say some says that twice daily for 5 minutes you will just think about what you really want, and just for few minutes you continue to think about it. Okay, you have got it or achieved that, and you are living with that, you are enjoying, and you are everything happening just truly, honestly, in an authentic way. So this is the popular method of manifestation. So those who want to practice, they can try it. That is another story. But what I want to say that like before the storm, there are just some signs, and also in post-hoc manifestation, what is obvious to happen in my life, I will get the hint, and the hint will act in a way I will think that I want to be there, and I will manifest, I will try to manifest. And so it is happening the other way around. So I had previously I had a meditation, and the topic was that or the theme was that law of attraction, that is what you really want, that you will get it. But I say it the other way, what is attracting you, you will be there. So I will not attract anything, rather others or other things will attract me, and then I will think that I am feeling interest for that people or for that for that situation, for that job, for that place, but actually that place is drawing me, pulling me, but it happens in a way my brain creates an impression and it creates a narrative. Our brain always do that. The left side of our brain, it is the narrative part, and neuroscience have plenty of evidence and documented in studies on that our brain always falsify things in a way that we just bound to believe, which is not actually true. And in the similar way, in manifestation, whatever we think we want to manifest, actually that is drawing me. It is going to happen by nature, because whatever thoughts they pop up into our brain, into our mind, we have learned, we have a tendency to believe that they are created by the act of our neurons, but that is not the whole picture. That is only a part of scenario. Yes, this is created, this phenomenon is created in the neuron, but how it is created? Neuronal activities is not the foreground, it is not the core cause. And here I am not willing to impose any cause of any supernatural cause, but the cause is something beyond our comprehension, beyond different dimension or different world, which some scientists argues to exist, and there are many experiments on that, and there are very interesting experiments by Professor Michael Levin. He's a developmental scientist, and you can search in the YouTube. So Michael Levin, he has done plenty of studies, and his colleagues and other scientists from other field, even from artificial intelligence and computer science, they actually established the idea in solid ground that knowledge and everything actually emerges or ingress in this world, in this physical world, through from some other realm, some other world which we do not know, and they and even the consciousness and thoughts are created like that, art are created like that. So it is not created by the artist, but from that world, it manifests through the artist, but the artist's brain is hardwired to believe that, okay, I created the art, and that's why they cannot explain how they created the art. You can feel it, because if you say, if you are a good player of some sports, some tennis, and if I ask you, okay, how do you play that much good? What is the reason? Nobody can explain, because they think, okay, I do it naturally. But everyone do it. Even a worse player, they also play naturally, but they might have regret. Okay, I do not know how I play that much bad, but they are frustrated. But the person who plays very nice, they cannot explain how they do it nicely, and there is no explanation at all. And research also shows that if someone is very much fluent at doing something, for example, solving puzzles, we tend to believe that because neuroscience have primitive neuroscience, or in earlier stage, it shows us that, okay, when I move my left hand, the area of my brain responsible for moving the left hand, it is activated. We can see it in functional MRI or PET scan. But there is the twist. If I am a naive, say, puzzle solver, or a naive person to for a specific task, for typing something, then the area responsible for that job, it works intensively. So there are more functional activities in that area. But the person who is so fluent that it is very easy for that person to do that, the area of his or her brain, it is very little activated. So it is counterintuitive, because he or she is so fluent that even she or he do it almost automatically. So brain areas are not required to be activated that much. So in manifestation, in post hoc manifestation, actually what is going to happen, that would happen, we never know. But when it is almost obvious, we will get the hint. We will feel that, okay, we will not feel in a way that, okay, this is happening towards me, but those who are intelligent enough, those who practice enough, they can comprehend, they can differ what is just fantasy or what is just possibility and what is going to be obvious. So for me, what would I, in my sessions, I have been conducting my sessions for last few years, and I have always said that I do not know my future. I do not know. I always say that in that way, and I never made any plans, because I always say that it is just worthless to make any plan, because life is not, will never go according to your plan. So it is an illusion to make plan. We have learned to make plans, but that is just a fantasy. That is very unwise to make plans. So we don't need to make any plans. But my point is that now I know what is going to happen in near future. How? Is it manifestation? No, I never tried to manifest anything. But it is obvious, and now I can feel it. And now whatever I do, it will go in favor of that. And if I think in a way, my narrative brain will always tell me that, okay, you did this, so it happened. You made this steps, so it happens. But actually it didn't work that way. Actually it was obvious to be happen, and then I felt that much confidence, okay, it's going to happen, I know it. And this is also taught in meditation, in manifest meditation, that okay, you have to believe it. But you know that belief cannot be just learned. It cannot be manufactured. You can never manufacture belief. It is, yes, it is, then you can ask that, okay, but how do people believe in so many things, beliefs in religions and other facts? Because our brain has a tendency to believe, because we do not, our brain cannot handle uncertainty, so it always seeks patterns, it always fill up the gaps, it always creates an explanation for everything, so that it feels comfortable, because otherwise it would feel threatened. So it would not be involved in eating and mating and procreation. So that's why brain needs to create an illusion of comfort around it. So that's why they tend to believe. But what we believe, that is not always true, and that is not in our hands. What would we believe? But what we know, that is, sometimes it comes as a hint, okay, it is going to happen. And so that is the post hoc manifestation. And if I believe that, okay, I am working on it, so it is happening, but that is not true. So this is our meditation. We can start by breathing exercise. We can breathe in, counting from 1 to 4, breathe hold, counting from 1 to 4, and breathe out, counting from 1 to 6. Again breathe in, counting from 1 to 4, breathe hold, counting from 1 to 4, and breathe out, counting from 1 to 6. Now we are in meditation. We just gently keep focusing on our natural breathing. We are not trying to change the breathing pace or breathing speed or rate, anything. Just focus on our breath, how air moving in, and how it is expelled through our nose. Just focus on our natural breath. And now think of what we really want. The most answer is that we do not know, because sometimes something might be obvious in our imagination that okay, I really want this. For example, I personally want a new iPhone 18 Pro Max. So it could be my wish, or I want. And so if I take it as an example, if I want to manifest, we know the protocol. But here I say that I do not need to manifest it, because I know it is obvious. How I know? Here comes the post-hoc manifestation or manifest, because it is naturally obvious. For that specific case, it is naturally obvious. That is why I am feeling that much enthusiasm, that much boldness, or that much certainty in my mind that okay, it is going to happen. And if I want to explain it, that would be unwise, because our brain always creates some narratives. Say if I feel angry about something, angry with someone, my narrative brain will create a story that okay, that person did such and such, or you were feeling bad because of some other things, and that's why you felt angry. But actually it was obvious to happen naturally, and it was the natural pattern, it was the flow, whatever you can say, and it was a random fluctuation. It was undeterministic but unknown, uncertain, unpredictable. Unpredictability is the true essence of life, of reality. So unpredictably it was obvious to happen that time. That's why I felt angry. And if I take the example of my, for example, longing for a new iPhone, that is also that kind of flow of nature. And now how can I feel it obvious? Because I know it. That doesn't mean that I have the required money for that. No, absolutely not. But I know it is going to happen. And how I know? Because it is like that forecast of that earthquake. When we open our minds, when we keep our minds open, when we are not fixed with any belief or disbelief, then we get the hints. So it is not manifestation, it is the post-hoc manifestation, if we want to call it like that, because we are all passive, we are just floating. And what is the best way to float? Not we are floating, but at the same time, if we just want to pull the water through some rudder or through some other instruments, so that is unwise. That is just a rat race. That is just exhausting. That is just boring, and that is not satisfying, because I will always feel in a hurry. Okay, I should try harder. I am doing something acting lazily. so I am procrastinating. For example, a few days ago I submitted an application for a position in a university, and I submitted it at the 11th hour. And how was, if I explain that, it was, the deadline was 7th July in another country. So I submitted in just in the last minute, literally in the last minute. So I sent the mail and I couldn't attach the documents because there was no time to attach them. I just somehow created the Google Drive link and put that link, and without addressing anything, I just sent the email and it went there at 11:59. So could be few seconds earlier before the deadline. So how it happens? And if I feel regret, okay, I was procrastinating, I should have been more punctual. No, I do not feel regret. Rather, I enjoyed it. It was like playing a game. So I was thrilled if I can make it in time. So when there is uncertainty achieving our goal, there is the maximum dopamine surge. So that creates the highest peak in dopamine, or that kind of reward, that kind of excitement in a novelty seeking brain. So my brain is like that. So it waits for the last moments, because it wants to enjoy the thrill of uncertainty. Again, breathing exercise. Breathe in, counting from 1 to 4. Breathe, hold, counting from 1 to 4. And breathe out, counting from 1 to 6. So we can blame our fate for what is happening bad in our lives. For example, even last night I was expressing my frustration to my wife. She is not at this moment with me. That okay, I feel difficulties in eating because sometimes I have to cook myself, and I am not a very good cook, and I don't like to eat alone, but it feels so boring to eat alone, and I never enjoy my meals. So I was complaining. Against whom, I don't know, but I was just stating the fact that I had been feeling that way. But that is not only part of life, but that was obvious because we need contrast. If we are always in a so-called heaven, it would be boring at some phase. But primitive humans were not insightful enough to know the truth. That's why the different religions emerged in human civilizations. But actually, ultimate or uninterrupted happiness, it is absurd, it is unnatural, and it is just an utopia. Not only utopia, it is if I am in heaven and always good thing is not cherished, because then I would feel, if I eat very good some food, everything, every time, every day, every time, then at some time my taste bud will be sensitized, my brain will not be rewarded. It's the same happens in drugs, and actually it happens to everything. So when the something brain is habituated, it doesn't feel it to be rewarding. That's why we know about the hedonic treadmill of happiness, because if we think that okay, if my salary is say 3,000 euros or 3 lakhs rupees or takas, I will be happy. But if I really get that much money, then I will have other areas of expenditure, and then ultimately I will feel it insufficient. Then I will again go for more money. So this is the hedonic, that is the treadmill. If you if we run on a treadmill, actually the speed is unlimited. It will never be satisfying, because we are always moving, but actually we are in the same place. So our longing for happiness is like that. If we think that, okay, if I get this and this and this, I will be happy, and there will be nothing left to be happy. But if I really get it, there will be other areas, there will be other things that will bother me. Say, if I think that, okay, if I get that kind of car, that kind of new model of that kind of excellent, some very luxurious car, I will be happy. If I get the car, then there will be other worries. If there is an accident, there will be loss, there will be I will feel sad, angry. So that happiness will never last. But we do not know, we cannot comprehend it earlier. We always think that, okay, if I get this, if I belong to that position or something happens, I will be happy. But actually it would not happen that way. So if we do not have that bad experiences, what I expressed to my wife, how would I enjoy a family meal? Otherwise the family meal would be monotonous. Many people live in the family and they even do not eat together. I also, when I am in the family, it is not possible always to eat together, because we come in different times. But what I want to say, that then I would not feel that longing. But when I am deprived from that life, then when I will be reunited for some days, that would create a very pleasant feeling, that would be extremely rewarding for me. So that is why, if we do not experience sorrow or hard times, we will never enjoy our good times. So they are not only obvious, they are not only natural, actually they are necessary. They are inevitably necessary for good things to happen. Again, breathing exercise, breathing, counting from 1 to 4, breathe in, breathe hold, counting from 1 to 4, and breathe out, counting from 1 to 6. So what we really want, actually we do not know, and we do not know that it would happen or not, and actually we don't need to know at all. Because when life is uncertain, when we do not know, when we are not sure what is gonna happen in my life in the future, that is the true spirit of playing a game. Because we always have sometimes played games, or we have some people watch football, the current World Cup, and so what is more exciting when we do not know that if our favorite team will win. So if there is a very competitive game, that is exciting, that is thrilling, because there is uncertainty. When there is uncertainty, which I told earlier, our dopamine surge is highest. So same is about our life. If we know what is going to happen in my life, that would be really boring. So it never happens in reality. We always have that uncertainty, and nature works that fluctuation in that way, which I told earlier today, that quantum fluctuation, quantum loop theory, according to quantum loop theory, pioneered by an Italian scientist, Carlo Rivelli. So it says that actually that from that quantum fluctuation, the future emerges, and so we can never predict it, we can never force it. It is just simple randomness. But in post-hoc meditation, for post-hoc manifestation, actually which is obvious, that will attract me. Not only attract me, I will know that I am just moving that way, even if I wish or not, even if I try or not. Again, breathing exercise, breathe in, breathe hold, and breathe out. And even if it happens, will it create ultimate happiness? No, because life is always uncertain. If that happens in my life, there will emerge new challenges, new uncertainties, and new difficulties. That is obvious. But we do not need to think it beforehand, because that would be a neurotic mindset. That would be an anxiety-prone person's mindset, who is always worrying about the future. If something happens to be bad, if things do not go properly, we do not need to think of anything. We do not need to think of the good or the bad. We are just thrilled because we are ready to face what is coming in front of us. We do not know. It could be devastating, it could be rewarding, we do not know. And that unknowing, that is what is not known to us, it is the exciting, it is the thrilling. It is like watching an adventure movie. We do not know what is happening just after a few seconds. Again, breathing exercise, breathe in, counting from 1 to 4. Breathe hold, counting from 1 to 4. Breathe out, counting from 1 to 6. Again, just focus on our breath without counting. Just focus on our natural breath. Just focus on our natural breathing. Not trying to change it. We can feel the calmness. We can feel us extremely relaxed. Isn't it weird? Isn't it surprising? Because we are not doing anything special. We are not in a so-called deep ritualistic meditation, but we are extremely relaxed because we just focused on our natural breathing. As I told in my earlier sessions, in my sessions in last weeks and the previous weeks, that whenever we just focus on our natural breathing, our brain's default mode network, it cannot work. It is simply ceases to work, ceases to fire. And the same happens when we are absorbed in our task in hand or some interesting work, or when we are absorbed in, say, watching a very interesting match of our favorite team, or when we are absorbed in talking or gossiping with my favorite friends or something like that, or eating some of my favorite dishes. So during that time, default mode network doesn't work, cannot work. It is a just natural phenomenon. It is obvious, proven scientifically. And the same happens when we just focus on our natural breathing. So it is so simple and so clear and so easy to cease the function temporarily, because if we permanently cease the function, we will never create anything. We will never experience any creative thoughts, because creative thoughts, they emerge through the function of default mode network. So as I always say that without pain, creativity doesn't emerge. So default mode network, it is responsible for rumination, responsible for depressive thoughts, and it is also responsible for creativity. So weird, so interesting life, right? Isn't it? Again, breathing exercise, counting 1 to 4. Breathe in, breathe hold, counting 1 to 4. and breathe out, counting from 1 to 6. And we will do one more time breathing exercise, then we will open our eyes. Breathe in, counting from 1 to 4. Breathe, hold. Breathe out through our nose, counting from 1 to 6. Now we can open our eyes. So those who are in the session in Facebook Live, so I know that you are feeling nice, well, good, and so hopefully see you next week again. Bye bye for today. So I am ending the Facebook Live session, and we will discuss with people in the Zoom and here